Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Psychopath is a horror-themed board game, and these are kind of becoming one of my favorite themes or genres attached to it. So the players are going to be like, one is the killer, and the rest of the people are kind of out in the woods trying to survive. So just imagine like your teen little campy, slasher kind of guy. And you're going to be playing cards down in that environment that will take that and kind of fight back and do different things as you move around and try to accomplish your goals. The artwork's going to divide people because it's that realistic, like, I'm in the woods and you're just taking pictures of me type thing. You see that with flying frogs sometimes. So it's going to divide some people, but I like that. I think it has a unique look to it, and I think it comes off as very appealing. I think with this theme that you're going through, and they did some hilarious stuff here. It's fairly good. The game itself really gives you that tension that you're looking for, like somebody's coming after you. Am I going to have the right cards to defend myself? And just a little bit of luck in that, some take that, etc. But for those looking at that horror theme of what you're doing, this is going to be in your face. The theme comes through fairly well, and I think that the experience is going to be good for the people that like this style of game and the game mechanisms, and then that horror theme on top of it really drives it home. Best game you ever played? Maybe not, but there's a lot of fun in this box, and I think there's a lot to do in it, and I think as you go through it, and you're kind of attacking each other and coming through that, and then you're going to have those big moments that are going to pop out, like, I got this, boom, and you can't defend that, blah, 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 and he's coming out to get you. It's all in here, and you're going to have those big moments, and it literally builds up to that, like in a movie, that you're building up to that moment in order for it to happen. So, happy little accident that this game came into my hands. I do like it quite a bit. We had a lot of fun with it. The rule set's a little sketchy there, and the artwork I think will divide, but the game itself and the experience that it brings, almost like a party game atmosphere without being a party game, is in this box. So for us, it's a keeper. Here is Psychopath, which is a card game with realistic pictures on it. It's a one versus all, where one person will play the psychopath and the rest of the players will be going after him. A pretty nice little box here you're going to have in here. You're going to get a rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes, and you're going to get cards in here. So there's going to be a 5th player expansion that came with mine, a little mini expansion, some promo cards, etc. And you'll have some cards that will be for the players. There's no tokens, there's no board, there's no nothing. This is what you have in here that you're going to have. You can see the artwork is realistic. It's going to be pictures of actual people in here performing different things and acting it out. Some people aren't going to like that. I tend to think it's kind of cool, but to each their own. And they're going to have the effects of the bad guy. This will be the psychopath where he'll be utilizing his. The cards are fairly good. I mean, the backs are the same for both, which is kind of a bummer. I think they should have different backs. That's kind of a miscue right there. But you're going to have different pictures that are realistic, which may be triggering to some, but it's all kind of for goofs and laughs and horror. So that's what you're going to get with Psychopath. The components are pretty darn good, especially for an independent production. Here's the rule book. It is a little bit of a mess here. So first of all, the font is yellow and it's way too small. Like, this is way too small. A picture of the cards over here, and then a breakdown of what you're doing. They went with yellow. It's really bad. You can see some little things in here, like helper things will be in a different color, etc. as you go through. It's just really hard for me to read. And there's an example of play in here, etc. as you go through, and tells you a little bit more. There's some pictures and stuff, how to use the expansions, etc. if you want to use that. Rulebook is actually fairly good once you kind of get a handle on it. You can read it. It probably gets a 6. The font doesn't help. The color doesn't help. Rules probably could have been a little bit clearer, but maybe it's just because I can't read this small of font. So each of the campers are going to have a number of cards based on the number of players. So you're going to draw these at the beginning of the game. And what everybody's going to do at the same time is they're going to play one of their cards face down. So let's say they play that card, another camper played this card from their hand, and let's say this camper played that card. So you have 3 campers playing a card. At the same time, the psychopath's going to have a hand of cards, and they'll play a card. And everybody will reveal their cards. And each of these are going to have a location that's going to be on the card, etc. that you're going to have. If you were in the same location as the psychopath, then you would do the location. If you would do whatever is on the text of that location. If you're in a different one, like these people, then you would do whatever's on that. That you're not in the same location as the psychopath. And if you look through some of the cards, the psychopath may draw a card. It plays your starting card. The psychopath's starting card is negated. You have some stuff here that says, after all starting cards are revealed, choose the location you want. Psychopath also gets to choose his location. He chooses first, etc. and then you will be able to obtain things, either items, etc., that you want. If there is a struggle, then you will take wounds, etc. If you're ever in a place where you can't play a starting card, then you will immediately die. If you look here, some of these will be able to offend other people. You got some that says 0 wounds and keep playing for the camper. The camper must discard a card after the draw pile. So it's pretty much that. It's going to be a little bit of keep and play. Reduce the wounds you suffer on a struggle by 1. 3 wounds, and you may discard gas to play chainsaw on a second camper or ally to chainsaw you do. So the psychopath is trying to wound the characters until they die, and these people are trying to not die in the game. When the players lose wounds, they will lose cards from their hand. That's how they're going to track that. And we don't have any playable cards, then you will die in the game. It's a fairly simple game. Like I said, each player is going to play a card from their hand. If they happen to choose what other people have, it'll probably help out the psychopath. And the campers will be helped out by choosing a location that he is not in. And that's kind of how a round of Psychopath will go. Who should buy this game? This is simply going to be for people who like horror-themed games. People who like that atmosphere and the tension that's going to come with it. Who's the slasher, and he's getting me, and he's coming up behind me, and all that little creepy stuff that's going to be. This is going to be the artwork. It's going to leave this just for adults. It's going to be pretty gory and bloody, and it's going to be for more adult sensibilities and children. You will not play this with your family. Even though with different artwork, I think this game could easily be played with like a family or like a Boy Scout troop or something like that. But I think the sensitivity of the images and stuff will keep it out of their hands. Otherwise, I think it's a pretty solid game. One I actually had a lot of fun to play with, and glad I got to play it.